Okay, here we are. NXT TakeOver San Antonio. Event just wrapped up, give or take about 10 minutes ago. First off, a bit of a bittersweet note. Corey Graves will no longer be calling NXT matches after this night. Not a terribly big surprise. I mean, when he got drafted up to the Raw announce team this past summer. He's doing 205 Live. He did start to feel like maybe he was being stretched a little thin. His NXT stuff was not as great as it usually was. But he will be replaced by Nigel McGuinness, who, of course, called the UK tournament, the WWE UK Championship tournament. So it shouldn't be too terrible. Like I said, it's kind of weird because around the time Graves got to the announce team was about the time I started really watching NXT. So, well, I mean, there was a bit before that. It was Matt Bloom and Alex Riley, and I think it was Tom Phillips at that point. And then it was Rich Brennan, and then Rich Brennan and Corey Graves after that. So, yeah, like I said, it's not surprising, but still kind of stings a little. Anyway, first match of the night is Ty Dillinger versus Eric Young of Sanity. Young comes out with Sanity members Killian Dane and Alexander Wolf. No Nikki Cross, obviously with what's going on later. Young offers Dillinger one more chance to rejoin Sanity. For the angle leading up to this, Dillinger turned down the opportunity to join Sanity, and that opportunity was taken by Killian Dane, formerly Big Damo in the UK. Dillinger threw the jacket in Young's face. Opening up, Young raked Dillinger's eyes and then tossed him out of the ring. This allowed Killian Dane to get a big crossbody splash into the post on Dillinger. Dillinger countered a Young top rope move with a drop kick. Dillinger grabbed Young's beard and then headbutted him. Dillinger hit a big belly-to-belly superplex, seemed to gain the upper hand at this point. Dillinger hit Wolf with the tiebreaker and then Dane with a super kick. They had gotten into the ring, they were interfering. He was going for the tiebreaker on Young. Eventually, Dillinger would hit the tiebreaker on Young. Then Dane and Wolf interfered again. Wolf pulled Young's foot under the rope so that the ref would see it and stop at a 2 count. This enabled Dillinger then hit a suicide dive onto Dane and Wolf. He began to kind of get back in the ring. He basically tried to skin the cat in a way. He hopped up. He tried to flip over the ring, and this allowed Young to hit his flapjack neckbreaker finisher on Dillinger for the 3 count. Overall, this was an all-right match. Had decent points in it. Pretty good pacing throughout. Ty Dillinger losing again, and right now there's a heavy rumor circulating that he's going to get a main roster call-up. He might be a surprise entrant in the Rumble. He really hasn't done much win-wise, unfortunately. It's like he didn't win the matches against Bobby Roode. He hasn't won this match. He probably should have won some match and got some momentum going into this. I just don't know if that's going to happen now or not. Okay, our second match of the night is Andrade Cien Almas versus Roderick Strong. Kind of some chain wrestling to open things up. Strong countered a waist lock on Almas and tossed him over the ropes, allowing him to do the El Tranquila. Almas got Strong in the corner and did a fake out with his running knees. He then stopped and slapped Strong instead. Almas locked in a triangle choke using the top rope as even more leverage. Strong managed to fight back. He hit a big gourd buster. Strong hit a backbreaker on Almas after pulling him off the top rope into the backbreaker. Almas tried a running knee. Strong countered that and got a running knee of his own. Almas locked on the rings of Saturn. Strong managed to get to the ropes. Sorry about that. I lost my notes there. At one point, Almas tried to go up to the top rope for a move. Strong countered that and actually used the top ropes to perform a backbreaker right across the turnbuckle, right on the corner where that little chain connects the pad to the ring post. Almas came back and hip tossed Strong into the turnbuckle and then hit his running knees. Almas went for the counter to his hammerlock DDT. Strong countered out of that and hit a big running knee for the 3 count and the win. Roderick Strong wins. Another good solid match to start things off, leading into the 3 title matches that are going to be happening next. So far, I'd say it was overall pretty good show. After that, we have the NXT Tag Team Championship, DIY versus the Authors of Pain. As I noticed when they were coming to the ring, the Authors of Pain now have entrance helmets, basically. They have like a kind of a hot, or sort of a ski mask type look, a military, not quite a gas mask, but a sort of a military mask type look. And then they draped over that like some sort of sheer, I'm trying to think what the pieces of cloth for some reason. It just kind of make them look like a weird Demolition knockoff. Yeah, a Demolition knockoff. Anyway, Razar and Ciampa started things off. Gargano attacked in and then tried to spear Razar through the ropes, but Razar just smacked him down with his hand. At that point, Akam tagged in and all 4 began brawling. Gargano hit 2 suicide dives onto each member of the Authors of Pain. Ciampa hit a running knee from the ring apron onto Akam. Akam then slammed Gargano over the top rope back into the ring. The Authors then isolated Gargano in the corner. They kept having a lot of repeated tags. Gargano hit an enziguri on Razar, but he was unfazed. He just dragged Gargano back to the corner. Eventually, Gargano managed to fight out and got the hot tag to Ciampa. He hit both members of the Authors of Pain with German suplexes, which, given the size differential we're talking here, that was pretty big. It's just seeing those guys go up and over, it was crazy. DIY then hit a double spear on Akam for a 2 count. The Authors hit a power slam neckbreaker combo for a 2 count. Then DIY managed to fight back. The Authors were going for their finisher, the final chapter, but Gargano came in and super kicked Akam, allowing Ciampa to lock Razar in the armbar, and then Gargano locked Akam in the. It was like the end of the last takeover match between the Revival and DIY, where they were both in the submission holds. However, Akam fought out of it and body slammed Gargano right onto Ciampa as he was still holding the armbar. Eventually, DIY fought out of it again, went for their double team finisher, which I forgot the name of at the moment. It's just sort of slipped my mind. It was not a. It's a good looking finisher. It just has kind of this nondescript Valley of No Return or something like that. But the Authors managed to fight out and countered it right into a Super Collider powerbomb, and then hit the final chapter on Ciampa for the 3 count and the victory. Your new NXT Tag Team Champions, the Authors of Pain. I'm probably, it's up there in terms of match of the night. I think it might be second only to the main event. Surprisingly good. Probably the Authors' longest match. As long as you get people who can work in the ring with them, they should be able to go decent matches. So they're probably going to have a pretty long reign. I mean, the Ascension had the belts forever and ever and ever in NXT. And if you look, a lot of the face tag team champions don't hold the belts that long. So maybe this wasn't too shocking. I don't know. There's probably going to be a triple threat at the next TakeOver. Okay, now, before the next match, there was this weird segment. Seth Rollins basically crashed the ring. He called out Triple H. Triple H comes out. It looks like there might be a fight, but then Triple H just calls for the security to take Rollins out of the ring. If you don't know, on Raw, Rollins lost his Royal Rumble spot because in a match, Triple H's music hit, and it distracted him, and that allowed Sami Zayn to pin Rollins and get Rollins' spot in the Rumble. Yeah, this was really weird. It doesn't belong in an NXT show. It brought all the momentum they were building to a screeching halt, and really did kind of sour the rest of the show for me a little bit. Anyway, our next match is the Fatal 4-Way match for the NXT Women's Championship. Asuka versus Billie Kay versus Peyton Royce versus Nikki Cross of Sanity. Nikki came out alone. None of the other members of Sanity did. That was kind of surprising. Billie and Peyton came out to the same music. They came to the ring together, and they actually stayed in the same corner through the pre-match introduction part. Asuka hit, right off the bat, Billie and Peyton actually rolled right out of basically kind of stuck together a little bit and then rolled right out of the ring. Asuka hit a running bulldog clothesline on the two, though, when they got back into the ring. Asuka hit a double German suplex on the two as well. Nikki and Asuka began fighting. Nikki hit a straightjacket neck breaker onto Asuka. Nikki then hit a flying cross body on Billie and Peyton. The three of them then began brawling up the ring as Asuka was unconscious back in the ring, or back just outside the other side of the ring. Anyway, Billie Kay, Peyton Royce, and Nikki Cross began fighting. They fought all the way to the announce table, and then Peyton and Billie suplexed Nikki off of the announce table and through a table. They then went back into the ring and began to double team on Asuka. They basically fought a bit. They hit a double team maneuver. I think it was... They hit I can't remember. Oh, I think it was a big boot combo or something. A fireman's carry into a big boot. They both covered Asuka. Ref counts to 2. Asuka kicks out. Then Asuka roundhouse kicked Billie Peyton out of the ring. Or not Billie Peyton, Billie Kay, sorry. Peyton Royce then hit a gory bomb on Asuka for a 2 count. Billie was getting back into the ring. Asuka got up and hit both of them with roundhouse kicks and then covered Peyton Royce for the 3 count. Asuka retains. Pretty decent match. Again, kind of derailed because of that whole Seth Rollins Triple H segment just before it. Again, it really screwed up a lot of the momentum of this. It would have been an alright match, but it's like, it's kind of that, like I said, that segment just soured my taste, and so through it all, I wasn't enjoying this as much as I probably should have. Like I said, it was a good enough match. Not entirely surprised about Asuka retaining. I would have maybe liked to have seen a little more involvement from everyone in this. It just, again, it seemed like there was a little bit of sleepwalking going on through this as well. And now to our main event, the NXT Championship match. Nakamura Shinsuke versus Bobby Roode. Right at the beginning of the match, Nakamura began taunting Bobby Roode by pretending to load his leg up for the Kinshasa kick. Roode flipped out of an arm wringer, and Nakamura then locked him in a head scissors. Roode fought out of that and locked Nakamura in a head scissors. Nakamura hit a big spin kick on Roode and knocked him out of the ring. Roode countered a Nakamura kick and threw him over the turnbuckle, and Nakamura's head and shoulder basically clipped to the ring steps as he was going back down. Roode then hit a double axe handle off the second rope. Roode then began beating on Nakamura and stepping on his neck in the corner. Nakamura began to come back and hit 2 big knees on the ring apron. One was a running knee, and then the other was a knee drop across the ring apron. Roode dodged a running knee attempt and basically hit a hangman's hangman over the top rope. Nakamura hit an inverted exploder suplex and began pumping up for the Kinshasa, going for the Kinshasa, but Roode was just laying there. He was laying there. He wasn't moving. Finally, Nakamura stopped and began looking, and Roode baited him into a roll-up, got out of it. Then Roode hit a backstabber and got a 2 count. Let's see, where am I in my notes here? Sorry. Nakamura hit a front superplex. Roode began playing possum again, rolled up Nakamura, and put his feet on the ropes for the pin, but the ref caught it. Nakamura countered out of a powerbomb and hit a running knee and got a 2 count. Nakamura hit a second rope Kinshasa, and this time they were going out to the floor because Roode was on the ring apron as well. Nakamura went out onto the ring apron, he hit the running Kinshasa off of that second rope, but in the process, Nakamura injured his knee. They barely beat the 10 count back into the ring. Nakamura hits a Kinshasa, but his knee gets further injured in the process. The ref starts checking him out. Meanwhile, Bobby Roode eventually comes to and just sits in the corner as the doctor's checking Nakamura out. Nakamura starts to get back in the ring. Rude immediately runs over and hits the glorious DDT for a 2 count only. Rude then kind of snapped. He locks on a half Boston Crab. He just starts pounding away at Nakamura's injured knee. Nakamura starts to try and fight out of it, gets into a triangle. Rude sort of fights out again because Nakamura's knee is just bothering him too much. Ref starts trying to check him out. Rude then hits a second glorious bomb DDT, or glorious DDT for the 3 count and the victory. Your new NXT champion is Bobby Roode. This match was really good for the most part. I'm not so sure about putting the belt on Roode so quickly. I mean, Nakamura itself just kind of won it back last month. And now it's, I mean, there's rumors that, again, Nakamura might be a surprise entrant for the Rumble, but given the fact they're having him sell a knee injury at this point, I don't see that happening. So, yeah, why take the belt off Nakamura right now? I don't know what they're going to do. I would have taken the belt off, not taken the belt off of Nakamura, saved Roode's title win for the NXT show. It's going to be on WrestleMania weekend. I just don't know what they're going to do with this. Again, overall, I would probably still put this as the match of the night. It was not a terrible match by any stretch of the imagination, but again, the show with the whole, the whole Seth Rollins segment, the whole Triple H thing, it just didn't belong there. And the end of the match, too, turned into a bit of a cluster. I think they could have ended that a little bit in a tidier fashion than it really needed to. So I'm going to give this show probably a B, just because for the most part it was still enjoyable. But, you know, unless, like the other NXT shows I've been giving A's to, this one just did not live up to expectations. Well, obviously the next video is going to be the Royal Rumble recap and review. Still is probably going to be up on Monday unless there's a sudden change of plans. So, see you all next time.